Okay, good evening, Ali, and nice
Hello,
to see you again.
and to see you.
Another week has passed very quickly,
Yeah,
and
you must be both very busy. The time only goes quickly when you're busy.
yeah, how are you now?
Fine.
How is work and life?
Oh, life's pretty good. Went to the gym this morning, so I always feel satisfied with myself when I go to the gym or when I go swimming or whatever. So,
Yeah, great. And how is the weather now in Italy?
well, the weather hasn't been so good, and we were promised snow yesterday,
Yeah,
and they made a big drama out of it. It's going to snow, etc., 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 and nothing happened. It didn't snow. It was
actually,
just
it's quite sunny now in Palestine. I was surprised. It's really sunny, even we are in the winter, so
uh,
we
I
expect
like
rain.
that. Yeah, it's nice when you get fresh weather and it's sunny. It's
I think it's related to global warming or something like that, because
um
it's not the usual weather this time of the year. We expected rainy weather, and
oh,
sometimes
it's better, isn't it, for you if it's sunny and not raining?
yeah,
Rainy weather.
but that means in summer we will suffer.
Yeah, that's right. Because it gets hot, doesn't it, in Palestine? I imagine.
Yeah. Okay. I think we agreed today to talk about the book, The Power of Now, for Eckhart Tolle.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I didn't finish the book, but I read about one quarter of it, and actually, it was a very nice book, and so I thought it was related to our last talk about concentration, and we talked about this subject. So I thought it would be a good idea to talk about this book, because even if it is a new book for me, but the concepts of the book is quite familiar. I found it very familiar and very beautiful. So, what about
Yes,
you?
you really should finish the book because if you've only read a quarter of it, you've missed like so much.
Yeah,
So you really should.
actually, I like it very much, and of course, I will finish it.
Yeah,
But when you read a beautiful book, you are not in a hurry to finish it. You
yeah,
just take the time to observe the concepts and just enjoying the beauty of the words, and the beauty of the concepts, and all this stuff. You need time to meditate on the
that's right.
meanings, and so I'm not in a hurry, but I can finish it. If I
Um,
want, I can finish it in two
it's
days.
strange actually. It's strange actually that you suggested talking about the book and said that you were recently reading it because I've recently started rereading it because I read it once. I don't know, quite a few years ago now, and lately, I don't know, a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago, I picked it up again. I thought, oh, I'll reread this. And I'm glad I did because each time you reread it, you discover something more. It's not a book that you only need to read once. It's a book that
Yeah,
you need
yeah,
to read.
very deep,
Yeah.
very deep. It
Um,
has this.
and it's quite an old copy now. All
Yeah,
my pages are quite yellow,
yeah,
clutter.
amazing. Actually, I
It,
have a voice version of the book. Eckhart Tolle read the words in his voice with his two assistants, a woman and a man, and they have this conversation. The way of asking a question, and the teacher or the master is answering it, and this beautiful conversation between the student or the seeker and the master. And, it's a beautiful. Can we just tell the audience, or anybody who are listening to us now, telling about the main concepts, or as you told me you read the book, so you may
it's,
have the bigger picture.
it's, um, it's very difficult to summarize such a deep, meaningful book, but basically it really is about the power of now and actually being totally in the present moment. And by being totally in the present moment, it means to fill up your physical body with consciousness. with your consciousness. Because if you fill up your physical body and are aware of your physical body consciously, you have to be in the now, because your mind is focused on your physical body. He talks a lot about psychological time, which is going when your mind like goes into the future or goes into the past.
Yeah, he also talked about the illusion of the time.
Yeah. So he says that the time really doesn't exist. It's only now.
Now there is no past and there is no future.
That's right. And it's true really, because we can only live the present moment physically. We cannot physically live the past or the future. It's one's over there and one's over there.
Do you know what amazed me about Eckhart and his words and his book? Is he talking about very simple ideas and concepts, but when he starting to analyze the questions and talking deeper in the concepts, you started to feel and see the new dimensions about the concept. And you started to see the bigger picture, and having this deep, amazing journey inside the words and starting to explore this new dimensions. So
and it has so many implications also for just simply everyday life stuff, because he was saying at one point in the book that if you fill your body with your consciousness, your cells love consciousness and they come alive with consciousness, and it actually boosts your immune system. So
so his teaching is close to Robert Bruce. By using the tactile imaging and body awareness techniques, he encouraged people to be aware of their body, their ideas, and their feelings. So you become fully aware of your present, in the present.
So if you're not fully conscious in your body, then it gives illnesses and diseases a chance to get in. Whereas if your every cell is full of consciousness and alive and just enjoying being present in the now, there's no space for anything else. So, you know, it could be an idea one winter to try and do that, even, you know, trying to get all consciousness in your body and see if you do actually get cold or flu or something like that. And they even say when you have flu, maybe you didn't get to that bit, when you had flu last, was it 2 weeks ago, you weren't feeling very well. Even when you get ill, he says, as soon as you feel that first symptom, just fill your body up with consciousness. Even if you're well into flu, just fill your body up with your conscious awareness. And
you can start healing yourself instead of waiting for a doctor or outside medicine. But actually, I took a medicine. For me, when I read his words about the being in the now, I remembered my concentration techniques. I started to remember how it was the first time it was a boring situation, just doing nothing, and also when he talked about his this suicidal feeling and negativity in himself before getting this thing in glimpse in the enlightenment. So I felt the same, because I was doing nothing and feeling all these negative ideas that I'm wasting my time, and suddenly I starting to feel the environment and starting to feel my awareness in a different state. I'm starting to see things clearly and feel the time differently. So it was when he's talking about this moment or talking about this state, I can feel, can compare his experience to mine, and starting to taste the words he took, and so it's for me different. It's different if somebody didn't practice meditation and didn't practice concentration, he may not feel these words in the same level that a person that had experience feel. So it was amazing to see somebody with ability to put words and sentence to describe this state. He's
Yes, because
describing very beautifully. Yeah.
Yes, he does. He writes very well, and also if you've got the audio, his voice is very relaxing as well.
Yeah, yeah, very, very
It
relaxing.
sends you into a meditative state.
Yeah, because you know he's from Germany, I guess, and from Western world, so it's not usually to see somebody talking about we are usually expect some guru from India or from China, from Eastern world. So he's from the heart of the Western world, and talking about this spiritually topics with which was dominated by Eastern culture for thousands of years. So it's something new. He used Western terminology, and so it's much easier to.
It's much easier to understand because it's not steeped in, foreign words for us, for the English-speaking world.
And you can feel the this deep concept that we are if we have different culture and different languages and different ideas, anything, we still human inside, and we have the same concepts. The inner world of every human being is the same, even because Eckhart also felt this separation from himself when he felt this enlightenment moment or the power of the now in his first experience. He felt this separation from his self and his consciousness. He felt this separation. So it's a beautiful concept that it's not matter who you are and where are you from. Deep inside yourself, you are just a human being with the same components that exist in every other human being in the earth. So just very amazing and very deep thinking he have.
Yes.
And so I was enjoying every word I read or listened from him, and his voice really is quite calming and actually. But can we just maybe we can't find something to criticize about his words, but
did you get to the bit in the book where he talked about out-of-body experiences?
No, this is the first time I just started to read his book just a week ago. It's the first time. Many people recommended this book for me, but I was quite lazy, and so a friend of mine told me just a week ago, you have to read this. You have to read this. So I promised him to read it, and actually I downloaded this voice book, audio book, and the actual book in Arabic. Can you
really?
imagine that? There is an Arabic version of the book and English. So I downloaded the English and ignored the Arabic. So I started to read it, and actually I'm thinking to convert the Arabic version to a voice book, and when I have time, because I'm lazy now.
Well, you're probably busy as well.
Yeah, I'm busy also. So the concept of the now is, or the power of now, it's very very strong idea, and I can't separate my experience and what I saw in the first time when I put all this concentration and starting to feel the reality steering, and I felt myself like in a different world, in a different dimension. I'm still in the world, still in my body, but I feel the world and the reality in very different way. I feel this happiness of just being present. I felt this quiet and this beautiful feeling. So, what do you have in your experience, the feelings and the or as you experienced the in the meditation or the power of now in your life? Did you actually?
Well, when I had that out of body experience, when I went through that tunnel and I came up and I came out the other side and I became the universe, that is how I would like to kind of funnel that down into my physical existence, because that was really simply being. It was exactly what Eckhart was talking about. I believe the just simply being and
without ideas, without fears, without thinking.
Yes, no thinking, no thoughts, anything
Just
like
being,
that.
and it's just that's more than enough to be a happy
Yeah.
creature.
Strangely enough, Eckhart in his book, this part that he writes about out of body experiences. Let me read it because you haven't
Yeah,
got to it yet. Put my glasses on. My eyesight's deteriorating. It's on page 95 of this book, and he says, the fact is that no one has ever become enlightened through denying or fighting the body or through an out-of-body experience. Although such an experience can be fascinating and can give you a glimpse of the state of liberation from the material form, in the end you will always have to return to the body, where the essential work of transformation takes place. Transformation is through the body, not away from it. I found that quite interesting because out-of-body experiences, that's what they are. They're a tool to transformation. But as you said, we do always have to come back to our body. And it does give us an idea of what we can become. Having out-of-body experiences, I think, is a valuable tool to give us an idea of what we are actually capable of and who we truly are. And you can, for me, it's actually made my life more urgent in the physical, at my out-of-body experiences, because we chose to come here. And so having out-of-body experiences and reading The Power of Now, it gives you the momentum to actually live your life in the now and try and become that state that I experienced in an out-of-body experience, which was truly incredible.
I can understand that. In the past, I tried to, in my first book, to talk about bringing this state of feeling in a different consciousness level and trying to bring it to our life by starting to separate yourself from your feelings, from your ideas. Because, for example, if you become angry, you just being angry. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to. You just having this equality that you have in the out of body experience. So, do you think that the power of now or being in the present is very close to? It's not quite the same of the awareness outside the body, but it's maybe the gate to have a glimpse about the quality of the awareness outside the body.
Yeah, because the power, the moment, the present moment is the gateway, isn't it? It's the gateway to those experiences, which I believe you can bring into your life.
And that's why we have mind taming and the all these techniques, relaxation techniques. So we're trying to make the body relaxed, the mind relaxed, to stop all the ideas, because you cannot have an astral projection while thinking. And so
back to the thoughts again, trying to stop those thoughts, because while you're thinking, you're not in the moment. You're your mind is not present in the moment if you're thinking. So we're back to the not thinking, like we discussed many times. And that was what got me to this experience, this incredible experience. No thoughts. I just emptied my mind. I really concentrated on having no thoughts, but it was so difficult.
Yeah, being in the present is not easy. And if you are trying to do it even now, you will find it a little difficult. Because for me, if I'm trying to having a conversation in other language and being in the now at the same time, it's very hard for me, because I have to thinking to enable myself to put the right words in the right sentence and make good sentence that people can understand. So it's not easy, but I think Eckhart got a lot of time of his time to be present, because if you listen to him, he's completely, really, you can feel it. He's completely in the present. He's not talking fast. He's not thinking fast. Yeah. He's taking the time like he's living forever. So
maybe he will.
Yeah, he's very 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 quiet and very confident in himself, and this quality is very amazing. I think everybody is fascinating, or could be fascinating with this state and want to achieve it. If you have this this calm and this quiet thinking, not thinking actually, a quiet being, and this happiness, I can feel the happiness in his sound, the wisdom, and all this. Like I feel like he reached the place. He don't have to move anywhere else. He found the place to go, and so bringing this moment of being in the present to make it and expand it to all of your life, to all of your activities, day-to-day activities. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. And also this is one of the things I admired about Eckhart, because he's not talking about idealism. He's not talking about supernatural state or any abilities or the things or stuff you hear from false masters. He's talking very simple, very clear, very honest, and even his enlightenment state, he stated that he don't experience it all the time. Sometimes he is thinking, but after finishing thinking, he returned to the now, and so it's very realistic and very beautiful and very simple. So
because he says you don't, it's not like you don't have to plan for the future.
No,
the way he explains it now, it's not like you just sit in the moment and don't do anything. You do have to plan for the future, but obviously you don't have to spend all your time, all your energy in the future or in the past.
He don't think mind is bad. No, he think that mind is a tool, but it should be a tool, not becoming a monster that take all your life and all your being and started to feel that he is the master and taking all things in your life. So you miss the point of being alive. You're just becoming a machine, just thinking in the future and thinking in the past. So you are not present in the now. So you miss your life, and when you reach the death, you actually realize that you didn't live for maybe hours. So
and also it gives lots of ideas on how we can deal with like, for example, if you're worrying about something, obviously that's living in the future because you're worrying about something. And he says, ask yourself in the moment, are you okay? at this present moment, are you okay? And the answer is usually, yeah, I'm okay. So stop worrying, because you're okay now, and now is the moment, and the next moment you'll be okay, and the next moment you'll be okay. Because normally things never happen how we worry about them. We worry about things, but usually our scenario or something is far worse than it could ever be. So it's total waste of time, waste of worrying, not waste, because the more you worry, the older you get as well, because it's not good for your, physically it's not good for you to worry. So he just says, if you're anxious or worried about something or whatever, just ask yourself the question, am I okay now?
Yeah.
And more often than not, you are okay now. So, that gives you the strength to continue to the next moment and then the next moment. And I think that's important. So, it doesn't matter how desperate you are, because we've all had pretty desperate times in our lives. So I think most of us have.
Actually, it's not that hard to, at least for me, to be in some kind of, or becoming very close to the now, because I'm a very quiet person, and have, for example, I have many moments in my day where I become very present in the now. For example, when I read Eckhart's book, I just sometimes meditate in his words and the meanings, and sometimes I focus on my third eye and feel this difference in my body and the quality of the time. I also practice meditation daily, so I feel this beautiful and happiness feeling with being present in the now. It's very beautiful. But I was amazed how he answered the questions. I thought I understand the meditation, but when I listened to him, I started to realize that I didn't get all the pictures. And in the past, I thought, or before I read his book, or not quite all his book, the first quarter. I started in the past. I thought there is a huge difference between meditation and between the normal day-to-day awareness or the thinking. I thought they are very separated and there is no link between the two. So even you are meditating or you are thinking, and or living your life. So living your life and meditating in the same moment, like being aware while you are walking, being aware while you are eating, being aware when you are sick. So he tried to bring the meditation into your life, so it will become much easier to enter the power of the now in any minute or any hour in the day, because every hour and every time is now. There's, and he also have this deep philosophy, and he can bring these arguments and solve these problems, answer the questions very clearly.
Yes.
So you can have an idea about his knowledge and his experience. That is sometimes he talked about the communism and the socialism when he talked about thinking in the past and the future, because they are trying to bring an ideal state in the society. So it's okay to kill people and to sacrifice those who are resisting this model in the present. So you have an excuse to do horrible things in the present to seek a better future. And he compared this to your life. You bring misery and committed crimes to yourself in the present, just to seek a future that doesn't exist actually. And the only thing that affects the future is what you are doing in the now. So the only time you have in your life is now. So he brings this smart arguments, and his very wide knowledge and experience. So he can convince you very easily. And
yeah, it's very convincing because he has such a way of talking. You know, I wrote. I have when I read a book, I write down my favourite bits.
Of course.
Yeah, and I wrote. There was a bit in the book. I don't know if you would have got there about silence. Did you read about silence in the book and how everything comes from the silence? Where is it?
In which page this is?
I'm looking. Hang on.
Okay.
Here it is. Oh no, I can't find what I wanted to say. He talks about how all the noise comes from. Here it is. It's right to the bit that I got to.
Actually, his English is very good.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
He talks around page 112 about silence and how you can hear the silence even underneath the noise, because in the end, all noise comes from the silence and goes back into silence.
Actually, in cosmology, everything comes from empty space. Even the empty space have this colliding particles, which sometimes this symmetry and colliding maybe broke, and some particles escape from this colliding. So a matter created, and after the matter convert to energy, it can also enter to the energy of the emptiness. So
because often we concentrate so much on the noise, we forget that there's silence.
to listen to
the silence. He says here, pay more attention to the silence than to the sound. Paying attention to outer silence creates inner silence. The mind becomes still. A portal is opening up. So listening to the silence is again focusing in the present, and will open up that portal to the inner you. And it goes on to say, every sound is born out of silence, dies back into silence, and during its lifetime is surrounded by silence. Silence enables the sound to be. So I thought that was quite nice.
And quite deep, actually.
Yeah.
Even the universe comes from silence before the Big Bang.
Something you have to repeat and think about, but that's what the book is. It's a book that you can't just read once.
Yeah, very deep meanings. Yeah. He talked about the Sufism, actually. Yeah. But I forget the topic, but he mentioned them as a mystic way in Islam. So his teaching or his ideas is very close to some mystic groups, and so are some religions. Sometimes he quote from Jesus, from Bible, from Sufism, from Zen, from all these religions and ideologies. Okay, my English, I have to work much. Okay.
Hey, can I just say, it was quite interesting because we were talking about synchronicities before, and that was actually the page that I've got to when I was writing down the things that I liked from the book. And I just started reading another book because I have several books on the go normally. And it's this book. I doubt if you've probably heard of it. It's called The Multi-Dimensional Man. Have you heard of that?
No, actually, it's new or?
No. This is I think printed in 2008 because this author has actually written another book, but I wanted to read this book first. The author is Jürgen, and I'm going to get into trouble for pronouncing his name wrong, I'm sure. Ziva, I think. Z-I-E-W.
He's Brazilian?
He's German.
German.
No, he's German, but he lives in England. He's a friend of mine. And it was funny how synchronicities go, because I was reading this book and he says practically exactly the same thing as Eckhart says about the silence. He's having an out of body experience. He has this meeting with let me find the page 77. He has a very deep experience.
In OBE or astral projection?
Yeah, these are all about his different experiences in astral projection. This is about a particular experience he had before he started having out-of-body experiences, like a really transformational experience when he had an experience with...
An experience on being and deep meditation?
He was in his apartment, in his physical body, and then everything started to change around him. He started to have these experiences.
Yeah.
And he heard this voice.
Like visual visions or just feelings?
Well, it's like, you couldn't even describe it because, for example, the voice says, "You cannot grasp who I am or who you are, and nor can you understand. We are both the same, beyond understanding." So, there are no words to describe. But he mentions exactly the same, and now I'm having trouble finding it, about everything coming from the silence. For example, I am the stillness which allows sound to be if it pleases me. I give life to everything, I give life to you. Another quote on the same page. All that was left was an ocean of clarity, a cosmic sea of pure intelligence, the essence of being.
Yeah, very, very deep, yeah.
Great stuff. You really have to read that book. And it was a strange coincidence that after reading that in the Power of Now about everything emerging from the silence, and then had this experience with exactly
the same concept, but different people trying to describe it in a different
in different ways.
Yeah, but it's actually the same.
Yeah.
This is one of the things that also amazed me. There is no difference between the concepts, even between the techniques. Sometimes techniques are different in their ways, but they are the same. Just bringing your awareness or your being in the present. And I just had this thought about the similarity between being in the now and astral projection. Because when you are trying to reach the now in your mind by concentrating or by trying to silence your mind and your thoughts, you reach a different level of awareness. In the same way, in astral projection, when you are traveling in astral planes, in every plane you are also experience a different quality of awareness. So the two processes just moving from different levels and different stages or difference. So you experience a very this difference in the quality of your awareness. So they are similar in meditation and astral projection, similar in a way or another. And I think any person who want to experience astral projection, he have to start meditating and have this meditation in his daily meditation in his life, because it makes things much easier to move to astral projection, because just give you a glimpse or the meaning of feeling and living in a different awareness level, or seeing the world in more dimensions. So I think this is the similarity. Do you agree about that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think meditation is. I wouldn't say it's essential to astral projection, because I know people that have had out of body experiences that haven't meditated, because some people can do it naturally. But when I was, before I had my first out of body experience, I was meditating every day, at least for half an hour, if not an hour, because it just helped me to still my mind and enter into the trance state. The person that wrote this book that I just mentioned, he was meditating about 2 hours a day. He made it his regular habit to meditate for 2 hours a day, and in his books, even though I haven't read the second one, but he finds it quite easy to change his awareness,
yeah,
his go out of body, yeah, because obviously 2 hours a day, every day, meditating is pretty good.
That's actually good.
I wish I could.
I wish I have all this time. Actually, I'm meditating
well,
for
actually,
an hour.
you have time. You actually have the time.
Yeah, you have, but your mind is just being afraid of being in the now. So just
like
make all these excuses, and and trying to.
If I think about it, I sleep about 8 hours a night. So I could even forget an hour or even an hour and a half of that and meditate. But
And if you practice this kind of meditation that Eckhart is talking about, being now in every situation, you can having a lot of time meditating in one single day.
Well, I do try.
Yeah, when you try to walk and having awareness, when you there are all sorts of meditation. So you can't count all this time. And
no, it's good actually, because when you do try and stay in the present moment in your everyday life, you find yourself smiling more as well.
Yeah.
Like you get in a lift and smile at people, and people actually smile back. It's incredible. Whereas people react, and it's quite nice. Whereas if you get into a lift, then you've got a grumpy face, and you're worrying about the future. You're not even paying attention to the people you have around you.
Yeah. Whereas, so we can now talk about the practical part of what sort of things you doing to be in the now. Did Eckhart mention that?
Well, I can't say that I'm an expert, but
yeah. Okay, what we can help people, they heard about all this cool stuff about being in the now and the good feelings. If you have any techniques,
I'm pretty good at being in the now when I'm eating. I really think it's important to be in the now when you're eating and appreciate.
To control your weight?
No, to enjoy the food.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, if you watch people eating, when I sit with my family, for example, everyone starts talking and they're eating and they're talking.
And watching TV or looking to their cell phones.
Yeah, they're not actually enjoying or thinking about what they're eating. Whereas I stopped eating with my family actually because I couldn't enjoy my food because someone would get me a knife or pass a salt. Can you give me that? So I wasn't eating properly. So in the end, I stopped eating with them. I know it sounds really bad, probably.
Actually, in England, there's a tradition in the dinner on the in the supper, or all the family gathers and trying to talk, and this tea parties and.
I live in Italy, so it's even more, important in Italy. Italians love their food. They love getting together and eating and talking. But
eating is just not just putting food in your mouth. It's just a social phenomena and weighing.
You can't appreciate what you're eating if you're talking at the same time. So I eat on my own. I cook my vegetables, my dinner. And I have my glass of wine, and I sit there in silence, and I eat my dinner in silence, and I really appreciate what I'm eating. Whereas, if I'm sitting with my family, I don't appreciate what I'm eating because I concentrate and I put myself in the present moment. I really get for me, it's the best moment of the day, practically.
Actually, I read this in the New Energy Ways book of Robert. He talked about getting the energy from the food. It's one of the energy sources. So if you are concentrating on or being aware about what you are eating, you can get much energy from it, the life energy in your food. So being aware helps you to get energy, and so it's I think it's a good way of.
Most people think I'm weird though because I eat on my own, but I like eating on my own.
I also heard that or read that being aware and showing your food more than usual helps you to reduce your weight, because if you are just eating while watching TV, your mind you can eat much food without feeling that you've actually ate all that. You can.
I eat and watch the tree at the end of the garden. I've got this lovely oak tree at the end of the garden, and when I eat, I look at the garden. But also, you can be in the now, simply in nature. If you go for a walk, or if you simply go into the garden and just sit down, and maybe just sit down and look at a tree. That tree is always in the now. It's not worrying about,
the beauty of the nature can capture your.
And I think that can help you stay in the now as well. Simply going in the garden, or staring at a tree, something like that.
Are there any other techniques or ways you use?
Playing with my dog as well, because dogs, animals, they're always there, aren't they? They're in the now. Everything is like wonderful to a dog. He's not worrying about his next meal, or
he's always jumping and being.
Yeah. So, it's just everyday stuff. You can be in the now and everyday stuff as well, but it doesn't mean that you can't plan ahead in the future, because you have to do that as well. You can't just, as I said before, you can't just sit at home in your armchair and not do anything and just say, look, I'm in the now. You do have to have.
Yeah, for me, maybe my ways are different, a little different. No, I don't have a dog actually, but for me, sometimes when my body becomes very exhausted, and because I practice some martial arts, so after the training I become very exhausted, and so my body is just seeking some comfort and sleeping. So when I'm trying to lay down, I started to feel my heart beats, and that's actually bring me in the now. And your breathing is very loud, so all the ideas in your head just escaped, and you become you feel this adrenaline rush in your body, and you feel really in the present. And all this swelling and this. So this is one of the ways I feel myself in the present.
Being conscious of your body as well.
Because if your body hurts you, you feel the warmth inside your body, and your heart beat, your breathing. You start to feel all these things going in your body. You have to. You become forced to being aware of what's happening to your body. Also, walking for a long time, after 1 hour, 2 hours, I become very aware, because all the time when I'm walking, I'm thinking. So I'm starting to thinking about this and about that, about my life, about my past, and after an hour or two, my mind become exhausted of thinking. So you stop. I stop thinking. I'm just don't have anything to think about. So my mind is just wandering, trying to get anything to think, and he don't find anything. So I become aware of the present, or being aware of me walking, being aware in things in the environment, and starting to see. The third way I use is listening to a music for the same music for a long time, just listening the same. So I become bored, and my mind is become very concentrating on this song. So I just shut down the song suddenly, and I experience this silence, strange silence for some minutes. Sometimes I just sit down and closing my eyes and just listening to this silence, if you want to say that, because your mind was very busy with the sound or with the songs, and you just put them away suddenly. So to bring something in you to think about will take the mind some time. So you experience this silence between closing the last program and opening a new one in the mind. So I'm enjoying this silence. The fourth way, actually, when I feel love with my family, with my girlfriend, sometimes I have this touching moment when somebody is talking, when somebody is talking about his feelings towards me, and so when I'm very happy, when I'm very sad, actually. This moment I'm just starting to feel the present and feeling myself in the present. When I feel a huge pain in my body, yeah, or a shock, psychological shock, yeah, I become really in the present. Yeah. Also, and it's very strange when I become very angry, because I am a very quiet person. So when I become really angry and starting to lose myself, the distance between my awareness and myself become very very huge. So very long. So I started to feel this distance, and I really can choose to bring myself from that angry person to the quiet person. And so I feel this had helped me to feel the silence that was before being in rage. So actually, and meditation.
Yes,
meditation, and before astral projection, I have to put myself in a quiet mind. I think this is all my ways that I achieved some kind of being in the present. I didn't read the whole book. Maybe Eckhart has his techniques. Maybe I can try them. So I have to read it to say, and I have to practice it. Eckhart also wrote another book, The New Earth, but I didn't read it. But I will read it, I think.
Also, he wrote another nice little book called Stillness Speaks. That's quite a nice little book.
It's a new book, or?
No, I don't think so. I have it downstairs. It's a sort of book you can open at any page, and you can read something. That's why I like that book. Every now and again I pick it up and read something, and it's like we've got...
This is something you can't get with a digital book or audio book.
That's right. That's why books are so great. Also, because I wouldn't have started reading this again if I hadn't have seen it in my bookcase, because it was sitting in my bookcase. I thought, oh yes, I must reread that. Now, you wouldn't see that on a computer, would you, unless you've got all your books, you know.
Actually, my generation is very very attached to the new technology. I use this program in my phone, or this app, Amazon, to download any books in the world, and download it to my phone. So even you may know about the electricity issue in Gaza. So if the electricity shut down, so I just open my phone and starting to read I don't have
Yes,
to.
I have that app as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But,
quite good.
it's good if you find yourself in a coffee bar or something and you've forgotten to take a book with you. You've always got a book on your phone.
Yeah, and you can explore many books, and you can from all over the world. So it's and quite it's not expensive compared to the actual book, you know, and it doesn't take a lot of space. You can have thousands of books in.
I love books. So there's no
I can see that there is a psychological attraction to the actual book. I can understand that, but for me, because getting the real books is a very difficult thing in this part of the world, so I get used to the digital copies and the audio books and all this stuff. Maybe in other parts of the world or other persons see it differently. But for me, knowledge is knowledge, whether you seek it from a actual book, from a digital.
Or you can get it yourself. You can get it from within. In the end.
Yeah, and you can get experience, especially if you are astro projector. You would have much of your knowledge from astral world or from inside you. Okay, actually we reached our 1 hour point, so it was really exciting conversation, and maybe we can discuss more books or more topics in the next week.
Yeah, we'll have to think about it and let me know what we're going to discuss.
Yeah, we can discuss that also. Okay, all I can do now is wish good luck for you in the next week, and see you in the next week.
Okay, see you next Saturday.
Bye.
Cheerio, have a great week.
Bye.
Have a great week. Cheerio.